GM, if we needed to make one bucket for the fate of the fucking planet Earth, give me Jabari Smith Jr. Give me him in the biggest bucket known to mankind, Jabari Smith. It's ingrained in your DNA. Dude.
With the fate of the Earth, this guy went Max Kellerman. Said, give me Iguodala. Except, give me Jabari Smith Jr.
Proven? With merit?
Yeah.
Are you hating?
I couldn't help it.
Oh,
I could not help it. But
you can't give me Jordan. He's 60.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
What is going on, everyone? You are listening to The Summit State of Mind, the podcast of dream shakes and step backs and everything Houston Rockets, presented to you by the Apollo Podcast Network. I am your host, your commissioner, Kenny, and with me, as always, is my brother, my tag team partner, the GM, Justin. Follow all of us on all social media platforms at JP_Mirabueno, at Summit Commish, at Summit SOM Pod, and at Apollo NBA, and at Apollo HOU. GM, 2 Summer League games in the book. Rockets are officially 2-0. Rockets are officially signing players. We are getting all around there now, and we are starting to things are starting to heat up in the Rockets atmosphere. How are we doing today, sir?
Oh man, everything is doing solid. It is a Monday evening. The day after Jabari Smith Jr. goes off for 38 points in Summer League.
You thought he broke his record?
It was.
Did I hear 48?
I was hoping. I heard wrong. But first, let's give a shout out to Pocketalk Festival. It is the Sports World Fair. It is both the largest sports innovation expo ever and a true fan festival with sporting events, competitions, experiences, activities, food, fun, and live music. The Summit Boys will be there. Apollo HOU will be there. The question is, will you be there?
Yeah, will they be there? That's the question. How do you say it again?
Exactly. It's like, will you be there?
No, how do you say it though? Pocketalk?
Pocketalk.
Pocketalk. Can you spell it? Can you spell it for our friends that don't know how to spell it?
Pokatock or TOK? I don't know.
Dude, you just gave the ad.
I did, but it's fine. You'll look it up. We can post it. Maybe you can put a link on the profile. Through us, maybe?
Yeah, we'll put it through us. We'll take care of it. But yeah, go check out Pocketalk. We got that big festival coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it. We hope to see each and every one of y'all there. GM, let's go ahead and move on with this episode. There's been a lot of good things happening in terms of the Houston Rockets, trending towards the right direction in terms of the teams and Summer League. It's such a fun time. It's like. I don't know how to explain it. And I think I said this last year too. I think it's the garnering of brand new things. So that, because the new toy last year was Jabari Smith, Tari Eason. Yeah. Now you're playing with an Amen Thompson, a Cam Whitmore. And it's just exciting to see them kind of get to go at it. But we're going to go into that in just a minute. But what's been your overall vibe of the Houston Rockets so far? The overall, not even just Summer League, but in terms of contracts that were finalized now.
If I'm going to start first on the Summer League, it looks like a lot of the players are trending upward in terms of play. Jabari Smith Jr. is playing with a confidence that we haven't seen. He's shooting the ball so well. He's playing aggressive. Outside of that first half in the first Summer League game where everyone decided to go mad and be angry, and Jabari Smith decided to be to shut up all the haters. And the last 3 quarters, the guy has put on literally an onslaught.
I kept quiet.
Of offense.
Didn't say a word.
And, we see the way he plays defense. He's been super solid. You see the way he's putting the ball down on the floor. He's looking very confident. Tari Eason, he's jumping out of the building. His athleticism has gone way up. We've seen him block a few shots in Summer League. And the way he is playing with a certain energy that is contagious for the rest of his teammates. And let's not forget to mention Amen Thompson. Unfortunately, he is hurt, but the first game that he had played, or the only game he played, showed a lot of what the Rockets were clamoring for in terms of a point guard. But I'm not going to dig too deep. We're going to dig into it a little bit more in depth.
I'm excited.
But outside of that, man, these contracts, Dylan Brooks is getting $10 more million than anticipated. A lot of people are angry. I'm not the biggest fan of it either, but at the same time, when you get a second-team All-NBA defender, subtracting his personality and attitude that accompanies what he brings to the floor, It's still a decent deal. It's the going rate for an elite perimeter defender at his size, highly switchable. And with all that being said, it's okay. Trust Ime. That is going to be my saying for the rest of the season. Trust Ime. It seems like that was a guy that Udoka wanted, and he got one of his guys, and so be it. With all these other players officially signing the 15% trade kicker,
15% trade kicker
for Fred VanVleet.
Yep.
The 2025-2026 season as a team option. Man, that's a great thing and a wonderful thing. We'll see what happens in that year. But with all that being said, a lot of things are starting to turn. The wheels are starting to turn. We're starting to see a lot of progression with these players in Summer League. And we're starting to see guys that could possibly be training camp invitees as well. Kenny, what do you think, man?
I think overall, the Summer League as a whole has been nothing short of spectacular. Getting everything that you got in terms of advertisement, which we're going to go into in just a minute. I think Amen Thompson, Cam Whitmore, all is advertised. Cam Whitmore obviously struggled out of the gate at the first game, got more comfortable in the second. But just the overall feel is just very positive. The players all came, all the players like Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green showed up. Fred VanVleet showed up for a game. It's just cool. Alperen Şengün showed up. All the coaches were there as well. It's just a good vibe. The Summer League vibe, in my opinion, is it's one of low-key the coolest fucking vibes you could ever have in terms of sporting events, just because it's you cram yourself at the Thomas and Mack Center. Shouts to Thomas and Mack. If you know, you know. When you cram in there and you get a full day of games. Dude, if you are a basketball brat like Amen Thompson, you go in there and you enjoy the solitude of rookies, G Leaguers, invitees, players that that have a shot, and you put them all in a room and let them put them all in a gym and let them figure it out. I love it. I love the mantra of it. I love the mindset of it, and it gives a good showcase during the summertime for what's going to come in the fall. GM, let's go ahead and open it up right now. Look, I want to talk about okay. Up until 0.6 seconds on the clock, I would have wanted to open up this episode with Amen Thompson in game one, right? Nah, son. We go up and up with Jabari Smith Jr., my son. Oh, my God. GM, and for everyone listening, I put out a stat today in terms of what he's averaged last two games. We'll go ahead and review it right now. Jabari Smith, in his first two games in the Summer League, his only two games in the Summer League, officially going to be shut down, according to sources in Kelly Eco. They're going to shut him down, but 35.5 points per game on 64.7% true shooting percentage, averages 49% from the field, 23 of 27 from the free throw line. That's 85% from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, a game winner. GM, is it shocking at this point? No, it's not shocking at this point. GM, if we needed to make one bucket for the fate of the fucking planet Earth, give me Jabari Smith Jr. Give me him in the biggest bucket known to mankind. Jabari Smith. It's ingrained in your DNA. Dude, what is it that they said in Winning Time with Reggie Miller? You're either born with it or you're not. You're playing Winning Time in your backyard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's in your DNA. You either got it or you don't. Jabari Smith has got it. I want to go in depth more on his gameplay, but I didn't want to touch up on that game winner. GM, what's been your overall opinion on Jabari Smith Jr. outside of the horrendous first half that everybody, I know who you are. All-star talking smack. I know who you are. I'm kidding. But anyways, go on.
With all that being said, first off, can I just comment on, with the fate of the Earth, this guy went Max Kellerman, said, give me Iguodala, except, give me Jabari Smith Jr.
Proven? With merit?
Yeah.
Are you hating?
I couldn't help it.
Oh,
I could not help it. But
you can't give me Jordan. He's 60.
Hey, man.
Kobe Bryant's not here anymore. Rest in peace.
I'm going to say this. The balls on Jabari Smith Jr. to take these shots at the end of games says a lot about his character and what his belief is in himself. First off, what I want to say is the thing about Jabari is that we were clamoring for him to tighten up his handles. And let me tell you this, he did. You can see the way he's performing in Summer League is that he's he's willing to put the ball on the floor to get to the bucket. And it's showing with confidence. The guy took, 17 attempts in the first game. I don't know how many he took in the second game. It was like 12 or 13.
I got you, buddy.
Free throw
stats
attempts.
pulled up. Oh, talking free throw or
yeah,
field
free
goal?
throw attempts.
Free throw attempts, he took 10.
He took 10. Okay, so I was close. I said 12. But with all that being said, you're seeing Jabari go to the bucket with touch. If everyone remembers when he was coming out of Auburn, everyone was always saying he was going to struggle in the paint. He was going to struggle making layups because he had a hard time making layups in college. And now we're seeing the type of confidence that I believe that will have some sort of carryover. Granted, he's not going to average this many free throws in the regular season.
And it's Summer League.
But this is a good trend in terms of confidence because you can see that he's willing to do that. And, his mid-range game, Jabari Smith Jr. in the midi is just automatic. At 6'11", and you rise up like that, you can't guard that.
Can't guard it.
With that, it's just that Jabari is showing all of the promise that people that really clamored for him, like the commish here, is proving them correct. And I love to see it. And the doubters that have bought in, hey man, welcome to the club. It's great. We're happy to see this kind of success with Jabari Smith Jr.
Happy to be wrong.
The balls that on that 0.6 seconds, man, Tari Eason and Jabari Smith Jr.
Give credit to Tari Eason with that quarterback throw.
He called himself a quarterback. He had to go back to high school.
Well, I think he was a quarterback in high school.
He
right?
said that.
Right?
Whether or not it's
was that
really
in gist?
True, I don't know. Maybe
Mama
not.
Eason, we're calling on you. Did he play football in high school? Was he a quarterback? Please let us know. I want to know. Now I'm just curious. But the gameplay by Jabari Smith was nothing less than incredible, other than my incredulous outspill of love that I just gave. To break it down via, I guess, in a way that people can kind of understand, Jabari Smith is the type of player, and I've said this on countless episodes, he's the type of player that puts the work in the gym, and he's very into perfecting his craft. And you're seeing bits and pieces of that happening now, especially in the Summer League. But the one thing that I've noticed, the one thing that's actually really gotten to me, and it's not the ball handling. The ball handling is like, I feel like when he's confident, he can actually have a decent handle on it. I think a lot of it is confident based, but it's not it. The one word that comes to mind in seeing how much he's improved, especially just in this small sample size of the Summer League, his balance. And how do you get balance? Through yoga, which is what he's been doing.
Yeah, he's been focusing a lot on yoga.
Right. So what he's been doing is, if you notice from the shift of his jumper, is even when he's going left on a post up fadeaway, he's balanced. When he's coming off dribbling left on a step back, he's balanced. He's coming in on a turnaround, he's balanced. Like, you can tell these are smooth, like no mechanical malfunction jump shots.
Yeah.
And they are they're perfectly, like, when you shoot a jumper, like, you don't want to contort your body too much. Your body, in a way, kind of has to be one with your movement when you shoot the ball. And it's all supposed to look like it's in one motion. The center of gravity isn't supposed to change when you're maneuvering. That's what made Kobe a killer in the mid-range, Chris Paul a killer in the mid-range, is their ability to, contort their body, but also, keep it centered to where the defense is at your mercy once you're taking that jump shot. And that's the way I feel about Jabari Smith. His balance is the one thing that I was just like, dude, this dude is shooting fadeaways like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And he's shooting fadeaways like Kawhi Leonard. Like, that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, dude, and he's shooting it at a balanced rate. He's not overdoing it. And he's picking his spots. Like last game, he had Jaden Ivey on him. Like, dude, he's just, time for some home cooking. So he's like, I'm gonna post him up. Let me give him a fadeaway because he's smaller than me. Let's go up against James Wiseman. Okay, boom, take him off the dribble. Like, Jabari Smith is mechanically and like, he's not playing like a sophomore. And the thing is, like, you can say Summer League, that's one. Yeah, you can say Summer League, but Jaden Ivey's in year 2.
You still got to hit shots.
James Wiseman. Yeah. James Wiseman's been in the league for a while now. Like, these are against guys that are going to be
Sharp as well.
Right. These are fringe rotation players for the Pistons. Like, this isn't Joey.
I mean, Jaden Ivey, was he starting? I don't remember.
No, I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, this isn't Joey Burton out of your local YMCA that got invited. Like, this is actual fringe rotation players that Jabari is going to go against.
Yeah.
So the fact that we got to see that happen in real time, I'm just excited. It's more than fitting of the billing, and all I know is Jabari Smith continue to go to yoga. It seems to be paying dividends, at least from my perspective.
As someone that used to do yoga, yes, I absolutely agree.
GM, let's go ahead and who else should we spotlight? Obviously we got Jabari Smith. I picked Jabari Smith. Who do you want to spotlight next?
I want to talk about our guy, our draft pick, our man that was rocking Sam and Davey.
Shout outs to Sam Thompson. And Davey.
Yeah, shout outs to our people over there. Amen Thompson is the guy that I definitely want to expand on.
Well, let's talk about Amen Thompson. Okay. Well, man, I have so much to say. Amen Thompson.
Well, why don't you go first? I went first with Jabari. It's your turn to go first.
Well, okay.
You get
I'm going to twist my arm and I'll start.
There you go.
I got to say this. Amen Thompson, and I will say this over and over and over again until the cows come home. Alex freaking Bregman. This dude just seems to it's crazy too, because this is his first time actually being in the heat of the NBA spotlight. Mm-hmm. Players either shine or they wilt. You know what I mean? You've seen it with Victor Wembanyama. We've seen it happen with Jabari Smith, who struggled mightily out of the gate, and people were hating on him.
Yeah.
His first first 2 games, people were hating on him in summer league. Oh, Jabari Smith is a bust. Here we go. There is a calmness to Amen Thompson's game that I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't put my finger on. It's there's some players that are special, and you can kind of tell that they're special. Amen Thompson, and I'm sorry, and maybe I'm smoking the pipe a little too strong after one game, but I'm telling you right now, based on what I saw, dude was making moves as if he was a 5-year vet.
Yeah,
this dude is going.
I agree.
Spotlight of the NBA Summer League. Your very first game, basically on NBA grounds. You're playing against the number 3 overall pick across the other side of the court. Scoot Henderson, who's gonna talk a lot of shit. They knew that a lot of eyes were gonna be on him.
Yep.
And you're talking about a guy that absolutely showed up, showed out, did big things. I can't say enough good things about Amen Thompson in terms of how he played. Stat line real quick, 6 of 13 from the field, 16 points. We're looking at 5 assists, 3 steals, 4 blocks, 4 rebounds, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 75% from the field, 6 of 13 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, GM. He is officially 100% in Summer League.
There you go.
And he can't play another game. So he's 100% from Summer League.
There you go.
We can put that in the history books.
There you go.
I'm a big fan of Amen Thompson's game. But GM, I want to talk about Amen Thompson, but I want to know what you think about Amen Thompson, because I mean, honestly, I was able to buy into Amen Thompson. I know you were a little apprehensive about getting an Amen Thompson for good reason. I was apprehensive as well. How was it feeling not kind of getting to see him play, putting on that Rockets jersey and seeing him perform against at least some of the best that Summer League has to offer?
Well, I mean, with what we saw in terms of play from Amen Thompson was that you were right. You said that he played with a calmness that not many people carry with themselves as a rookie in this league. Amen Thompson, I'm going to say this. The 2 things that flash at me the most are the steals and the blocks. 3 steals, 4 blocks. And that's because defense. And there's something that this team sorely needs is more defense. And you could see Amen Thompson fight through the screens. Granted, he's still, underweight in terms of that fighting. But as long as he keeps that athleticism, the length is there, and he can affect any shot whenever he needs. He makes things look so effortless. The steals. When Scoot Henderson was driving to the bucket, there was a couple possessions where Amen was just calmly, Scoot brings the ball, down, and then Amen just smacks it out and says, "I got you." And you can see how quick-witted he is with his hands, and those things that just doesn't happen overnight, and you have to have a knack on the defensive end, and that is something he certainly has. Amen Thompson at he's 6'7" as a point guard.
6'7", man. You know what I said? Mm-hmm. I was like, as long as he's not Dante Exum, I think we're good.
Oh yeah, I think we're fine.
Shout outs to the Australian god.
I think that
as long as he's not Dante Exum.
There are things that Amen does that his passing, his vision, so easy, and he makes it look he looks so under control. He's not flashy, but he has this kind of vision that reminds me of a Magic Johnson
Ooh.
in the way that he's getting these passes into the paint, and he's not flashy like him, but the vision is there. I wouldn't be surprised in 2 to 3 years Amen Thompson's 6'9", and
Just you're growing. I know.
Yeah, and
Jabari's like 6'11".
yeah, and the way that it is right now,
crazy.
man, is just that this is something that I believe that we can get excited about. I said it even after he got hurt. I said, I'm good. We don't need to see any more Amen Thompson in Summer League.
was good too.
Like, let's play it very conservatively. A grade 2 sprain is not good, but I don't think it's going to do anything to affect him going into training camp. But with all that being said, man, I am astonished at how well and how easy he played. I mean, he didn't play perfectly, but the thing about it is that he was never shook, never intimidated by a Scoot Henderson. He was never intimidated by the moment. He was getting into the paint, playing defense. Granted, when he did go up for that contest and he fell and sprained his ankle, it was really unfortunate. But Amen was at the right place at the right time in terms of the defensive assignment. So with all that being said, I was very impressed, man. And like we were stating, like I was on Twitter saying, like every time Amen doesn't touch the ball in a possession, it just felt like a negative possession. And with all that, man, it's just with him coming off the bench, showing a different side of playing the point guard position, where Fred VanVleet is what some would consider undersized. Amen Thompson would be considered an oversized point guard, yes, in certain respects, and he's going to change the way that we play when he's on the floor and the ball's in his hands. He wants to be in transition. You see how he is calling for the ball immediately as soon as the rebound is snagged. He wants to go down. He wants to be quick, and he wants to flash that athleticism.
Yeah, I think for Amen Thompson, I'm already envisioning, by your words, Fred VanVleet playing a pseudo 2 guard. And like Amen Thompson just, taking a quick rebound, quick outlet to Amen Thompson, driving it down the floor, kicking it to like, not Dylan Brooks, sorry. Kicking it to Fred VanVleet for a corner 3. Right out of the gate, right? Just like that, you know what I mean? And
definitely
big, in a big moment, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the versatility that comes to mind with an Amen Thompson. Jim, when you were talking about, you said you saw enough of Amen Thompson. The first thing I thought of was, I was like, man, that's a 2-bite app, my guy. That's all you need. Or a 1-bite app. Put it on the spoon, you know what I mean? Like have that little appetizer.
Yeah, we're at
oyster nacho. Shout outs to Fish City Grill.
There you go.
You just put that on one guy.
You're at a wedding, you're getting hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Amen Thompson was hors d'oeuvres. He was pigs in a blanket. He was just perfect.
He was just all I needed, man.
All you needed, man.
Cooked to perfection.
To fill you up when you're having a cocktail and it was a long service.
Wonderful. I loved
You're ready.
it. It was so good.
Yeah.
Like I was like, dude, this is the perfect app, bro. I'm good.
There you go.
Good. I'm ready for the main course. We can wait till October now. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need more apps.
We're ready.
So I'm good because that's what Summer League is. Summer League is just Summer League is just a bunch of appetizers before you get to the main course. Mm-hmm. So no, I agree with you there, and I did fail to mention that the defense as well. And the defensive aspect is what it didn't shock me. I knew that he was a good to solid defender. I saw a lot more out of him than I anticipated, but then you tend to forget, that he's 6'7". Mm-hmm. And then that photo that went viral, at least on Rockets Twitter, of showing Amen Thompson next to Scoot Henderson. Scoot looking tiny as hell. You know what I mean? Like Amen, it's funny because Amen is like an older player, because he's like 20. He's not, players that come to the league, they're 18, just turned 19, 20. You'll get some older players every now and then, but like this guy should have probably he could have went to the NBA at like 18, 19. He just chose to go in by the age of 20. So
you want Scoot?
No.
Amen. Sorry.
Yeah. So he's a little older. So there's a little bit more bag. There's a little bit more bag for him to work with and playing. And put some respect in OTE's name, man, because they obviously showed up and that they were ready. You know what I mean? So check them out on Amazon Prime, by the way. They have great. They have great games over there. GM. So going from the oldest rookie to our youngest rookie now, let's talk about Cam Whitmore because I got to be honest with you. For some reason, I had a feeling that Amen was going to play well, and I had a gut feeling that Cam Whitmore was going to struggle. I don't know why. I just felt it in my gut. Like I was like, Cam Whitmore's going to struggle, and he did struggle in game 1. Mm-hmm. The stats were nothing. It's nothing crazy. 5 of 18 from the floor. He got 14 points, ton of shots up. Didn't make much.
My man had the ultimate green light, like he was Michael Porter Jr. Gerald Green.
I don't know why I thought of Kevin Porter Jr. at first. I don't know why you said that.
No,
I was like, Kevin Porter.
KPJ isn't that guy.
Yeah.
That's a
Michael
volume
Porter.
shooter.
So Michael Porter. Oh yeah, Michael. Yeah. He's like Michael Porter Jr. Okay, fair enough. Gerald Green.
yeah. Ultimate green light. You come off the bench, you take the first 2 shots. Man, that's what you're here for.
You're in the summer league. You know what I mean? It's what you're made to do. So game 1, it was you laid a bit of an egg. Still had 14 points, but like I said, it took him like what 20. Was it? No, it took him 18 shots to get to 14 points.
Yeah, I mean the first half he didn't play very well. He did gain some confidence in the second half, and you could see it the way he played.
But he's good, man. Like the thing is like he's 18 he just turned 19 like a couple days ago or just yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Just yesterday. Hey,
happy belated birthday.
No, we got to do it properly. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cam Whitmore.
Happy birthday to you. There you go.
You went way too quick. I wanted to harmonize at the end. Big finish. They didn't even give it to me. Cam Whitmore, happy birthday. It's just turned 19 just yesterday. I know I'm not minding you anymore. He's turned 19 just yesterday and yeah, but he's got an NBA bod, man. Like you're seeing him on the floor.
You see him. He looks like he should be in the league already,
built, bro.
Yeah.
Dude's built for it. So overall, game 1, obviously 5 of 18 from the floor, adjusted, got a lot better for game 2, 9 of 16, over 50% from the field goal from the field, 21 points. I got to catch the highlights. I wasn't able to watch the second game live. But what was your overall opinion been of a Cam Whitmore so far?
The thing about it is that the guy is he's like a bulldozer, man. He likes to run through his guys or the defenders, and he's got like a linebacker type of body.
Linebacker's mentality, baby.
He's very athletic. But he's got that green light, man. He likes to shoot and he's not afraid. Some would say he has a little bit of a tunnel vision in the sense of when he's driving in the lane, but that's just what we call scorer's mentality.
Yep.
And that's the kind of player that he is. And I feel like when Cam Whitmore does be on the floor, we're gonna see some volume shooting from him, and that's just his game, man. And the guy can score in every facet, And then when we saw him make some threes, man, wearing that number 7, I was like, whoa, flashes of Melo from 2018, 2019.
Wow,
man. That was crazy.
I thought Kyle Lowry. That was my first thing.
I don't know why you'd think that, but
I don't know why either.
The jumper
Kyle
was.
Lowry, he wore number 7 also, right?
He did.
Okay,
but
fair enough.
the jumper was fluid like a Carmelo Anthony.
Not
it was really
Jeremy
crazy.
Lin was 17. No, 7.
Jeremy Lin wore number 7.
So not Jeremy Lin either.
He wore 17 for New York.
Ah, that's right. And then he went to number 7 in Houston.
Yep, exactly.
So Melo, that was the first thing that came to mind. Oh,
yeah,
that
was
sense.
the first thing that came to mind.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, small forward and relatively big in size in terms of being a 3. And the jumper was very fluid. I was very impressed with his game. I was impressed with his confidence, but I understand why, he was not picked at number 4. He's a little rough around the edges, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's great because his type of play can definitely be moldable with an Ime Udoka. And Ime Udoka is a guy that can mold a lot of players. And Cam Whitmore, I feel like maybe not this year, but will eventually thrive under that tutelage. And, when his opportunity is presented to him, whether it's this year or next year, I can't wait to see it. If he does go to the G League, that's cool. He's going to kill it in the G League. He should kill it in the G League, to be frank.
I expect nothing less from him, in all honesty.
But, with all that being said, Cam Whitmore has overall looked impressive. And, I'm just happy that he's on our team. It looks like he's a steal. And you know what? I'm all for it, man.
He's good. He's good. Like I said, at 20, a great pick. At 20, a steal. At pick number 4 or 5, maybe, but you never, the thing is we never know. And that's the thing. Like I am not, and as fans, I would highly recommend y'all to do the same, is to judge anybody so heavily off of 2 games from a summer league. You know what I mean? And
yeah, it's
and
not very fair.
It's not very fair, but this is
fans, it's normal.
That's what we have.
Also over, what can you say? Like overreact.
Well, yeah. I mean, Wemby had one bad game, and everyone called him a bust. So
yeah, you just gotta love NBA Twitter.
You gotta love NBA Twitter, man. We are fully entrenched in it. I love it. I'm so happy.
I'm fully about the Wemby slander.
I'm here for the Wemby slander as well. GM, before we move on, I do want to talk about one more player, obviously, and spotlight him properly. Tari freaking Eason. Oh my God.
Man. The man is just, he was honestly, to be frank, the man was like he was breaking rims left and right. The man was just on fire.
Dude, okay. So let's give a stat line. Game 1 against Portland, he had 20 points, 7 of 14 from the floor, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 blocks. Like, it's just like he's just, oh my gosh, so yeah, that was a stat line for game 1. Sorry, I'm trying to like get my words together too because I'm still in shock at it. Not in shock, but I'm just so like overly happy with how Tari is because first of all, he deserves it. Game 2, 12 of 25 from the floor, 26 points, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 3 assists, 9 rebounds, solid freaking numbers. 2 of 7 from 3. That'd be the one thing I would probably fix. But overall, GM, what's been the thoughts of Tari Eason and his gameplay? Because I mean, for me personally, you're looking at a full development, a man amongst boys in the summer league. Looks like he was way like him and Jabari outclassed everybody.
Absolutely. In terms of energy that he's bringing, we're seeing a similarity to what he brought last year, but it's mostly in the sense of where it's like basically he went from like 3rd to 4th or 5th gear, in terms of the energy. And you can see it on the floor in terms of not just his defense, but the way he runs the floor. The guy's getting to the rim. He's putting the ball on the floor, and he's just absolutely demolishing the basket. And, like you want to see that out of a Tari Eason. You want to see him be able to, annihilate that, to be frank. His 3-point shooting has improved, and you see it. He's been shooting the ball very well and with confidence. I don't know what it is, but it just looks a lot more smoother in terms of his shot. And he's hitting it. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, he had 26 points last night, 12 of 25 from the field. He only shot 2 of 7 from 3, which isn't great. But at the end of the day, he's shooting with confidence.
And take those shots.
Those shots are going to fall.
Take those shots.
Those shots are going to fall, man.
Summer League,
and
take those shots.
Go for it, And I don't know what it is, but the way it just looks smoother. He's kind of smoothed the edges a little bit in terms of his game. I can't wait to see how he applies it to the regular season. But with all that being said, man, Tari Eason is definitely going to be another bundle of energy off the bench. And if they do play him, Dillon Brooks, and a Jabari Smith Jr. on the floor at the same time, with let's say an Amen Thompson, then the defense on that lineup, whoever they put as the 5th player on that lineup, the defense is going to be insane. The energy is going to be insane. Let's say they input like a Jalen Green or a Fred VanVleet or a Kevin Porter Jr. It's going to look really, really good.
Well, those 3 were already practicing together in Vegas. Yeah. They already practiced. So it just goes to show you that like these guys are excited to work together. And Tari Eason, no exception to the rule, is just so good. And you can just see like he outclassed everybody just as much as Jabari Smith did.
Yeah.
And Tari Eason is somebody that he's gonna most likely come off the bench, but he wants a starting role. He should get a starting role. I just don't know if he's gonna get a starting role at this juncture, with this team, at this moment.
I agree.
The signing of Dillon Brooks has changed everything. And turn off your alarm.
Whoopsie.
But like Tari Eason, like, is gonna try to snatch a starting spot. And and competition's good. I want the competition. Bring it on. Just don't take Jabari Smith's spot. That's all I ask for. For the love of God, that's all I want.
No, I mean we're not going to see that. I think we're going to see them on the floor together. Jabari at the 5, Tari at the 4, Dillon at the 3.
Yeah. We'll see it.
Amen at the 1 or the 2, whomever. If Fred VanVleet's on the floor, then Amen at the 2.
Well, these guys aren't going to stay healthy the whole year. There's going to be little nicks and crannies here and there, little injuries that are going to happen. So they're going to go through. They're going to go through that, and when that happens, like the door will open for a Tari Eason for an Amen Thompson start, a Tari Eason start. Like, I can't wait. I'm super, super excited. GM, let's go ahead. We're gonna go and move on here. I do want to one more topic to discuss. That's obviously the finalization of these contracts, which I can't wait to talk about. I'm very excited. All right, let's talk about these contracts because, oh boy. Okay, so where do you want to start? Okay, so the 2 players that obviously we're talking about the most are gonna be Fred VanVleet, Dillon Brooks. Where do you want to start? Where do you want to sort this for our listeners?
We can start with Fred VanVleet. Okay. Let's finish it with our main event, Dillon Brooks. I'm just kidding.
Your main event
with Fred VanVleet.
I love Dillon Brooks.
Gosh, apparently I don't like fun. But
you don't like fun. Congratulations on going viral, bro.
With Fred VanVleet, Essentially is a 2-year max with a third year team option with a 15% trade kicker if he does get traded. And for that deal, I think it's a great deal. Good for Dylan. Not Dylan, sorry. Fred Van Vliet.
For Fred.
I'm losing my mind. I'm getting old. I'm washed.
Well, no, because you were thinking of this. So
yeah, I was thinking about the dance. But with all that being said, the fact that the third year is a team option is a win-win for both Fred Van Vliet and the Rockets, because at least in the Fred Van Vliet side, he's 29. If he does become a free agent at 31, he's still probably going to get a good contract depending on how well he plays in Houston and how well Amen Thompson performs as well. Because if Amen performs well and Rockets are like, we're going to run with him, Fred Van Vliet can go, and maybe they'll accept the option and trade Fred. You never know. But, in terms of flexibility for the team, it's a great deal because that year as well is when Jalen and Alp's contracts become extended if they stay, granted. But that's the year that it starts, and that's when you got to pay them. So obviously our cap space can be minimal. But who knows, man? I mean, Fred Van Vliet, that deal, I think, is a great deal for us in the short
100%.
term
100%.
and the pseudo quote unquote maybe long term in the third year. It all just varies based on play, but the fact that we have that option,
it's
just
huge.
gives so much.
I love that we have
gives
the
so
option.
much flexibility.
Thank God, because for me, Fred Van Vliet was, and I don't want to be too repetitive about this because we've discussed this the last few episodes, but more we want to talk about it for the finalized contract, because it was sources stated that the third year was a team option. Now it's fully confirmed, contract signed, ink is dry. Fred Van Vliet's working out with Jalen Green. We're already seeing it happen, and I'm ecstatic at the fact that the third year is a team option because it keeps the ball in the Rockets' court. The GM alluded to it very well in saying that by the time the Alp and Jalen are ready to be extended, we'll be on the tail end of that second year with the creation of the third year team option. So I like the Rockets to be able to have flexibility. Shoutouts to Rafael Stone at least for getting these options on the table for himself, so it doesn't restrict the team. We've seen huge contracts. It's people tend to forget that the Chris Paul contract, the Russell Westbrook, the John Wall contract. People are complaining about these huge contracts, and I'm just do y'all remember when John Wall made $45 million, or is this just me? Are y'all remember? Are we aware of how much he made? So it keeps it short term. It's a short term contract, 2 years, and like I said, at worst, Fred Van Vliet is the bridge to Amen Thompson.
There you go.
So I'm fully ecstatic with the deal. It's a great deal. GM, I do want to talk about this deal, which is going to be a lot more important because of the fact of the price increase, and that is to talk about Dylan Brooks, who reported 4 years, $80 million, and the number went up to 4 years, $86
with incentives that can get it to 4 years, $90.
So I thought maybe we could have gotten 4 years, $80 at max, and then maybe maybe 4 years, 80, and could have been 85 max. But no, we got 4 years, 90 on the table with incentives included. GM, you are the biggest Dylan Brooks fans I know, and I'm gonna do this while you continue to talk about his contract.
First of all, hey man, if there was competition for Dylan Brooks, I don't know who did it, but does it feel like an overpay in a sense?
Did Mark Cuban do it? Oh,
I don't think they had that money.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But
there was something.
There definitely was some form of leverage on Dylan Brooks' side.
Gotta be something,
especially with the loss of Brook Lopez in the offseason for
Brook
Houston.
Lopez ruined everything. I don't even want to go. We could probably devote a whole episode to that.
No, I'm good. But with Dylan Brooks, he's the 4 years are all guaranteed, but it's a descending. So the first year is earning $22.6 million. The season after that, he's earning $22.3. The season after that, $21.1 in 2025, 2026, and $20 million in 2026, 2027. Jeez, I can't get it out. There's a lot of 20s there.
Too many 20s.
Too many 20s.
Too many 20s. And he doesn't even have 20/20 vision.
No, I don't. But, with all that being said, it's just that $20 million in the grand scheme seems like a lot. But when you give $20 million to the likes of Ryan Anderson, who couldn't stay on the floor the second year of that contract. Speaks volumes. Who else got overpaid? Not Omar Ashik, but another center.
They're talking about the one for the Lakers?
Yes.
I always talk about that. Now I can't remember his name.
I forgot his name because he played in Cleveland.
Oh, Timofey Mozgov.
There you go.
64 million, yeah.
That's a
these
thing.
overpays these are normal. Like,
Yes.
I think people tend to
And
overreact.
with Dylan, he has a trait and characteristic that you have to pay for.
DAWG. Dog.
I guess.
Oh.
That
was
his,
my guess.
his defense
Oh,
is-
okay. Yeah, that too.
is there. Is there. Second team all defense. I can just harping on that. The guy he got his recognition and he deserved it.
It's true.
We just need him to shoot the ball less if possible, but if the ball is given to him and he's wide open, you got to take the shot. It's a good shot.
100%.
But at the end of the day, for Dylan, it's just that, yesterday's price isn't today's price, and today's price is what set it, and we had to pay that in order to bring him to Houston. Will it be worth it? We'll see, depending on his attitude and what kind of shit this team gets into. Like, if he says something that puts a lot of pressure on this team and they wilter, is that a slight on Dylan, or is that a slight on the players? Is that a slight on Ime? We don't know. But the fact of the matter
Let's not
is,
think negatively. Let's not put that in the universe.
I'm just saying in the sense of
I don't want to do that. Let's not put that into the universe.
possibilities in terms of things not happening
know,
for
but
us.
I just don't want to think about
in a
that.
great way.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but with all that being said, I think that the Rockets did make the right decision in terms of bringing elite defense to this team,
Which
with
we
the Dylan Brooks.
needed.
And absolutely. And with Ime Udoka, people might have their doubts, but like I said, trust Ime, and things can happen. We're starting to see some form of culture, which is what was desperately needed after the last head coach. But I'm just frankly, I'm super excited, and despite the fact I'm not the biggest Dylan Brooks fan, I will buy in.
We're on the way up, man. Like, we are 100% on the way up. And Fred VanVleet's contract, ecstatic about it. Dylan Brooks, a little apprehension from the fan base's side. I personally, like, the price increase, yeah, it sucks to a degree. I got over that really quickly. There's just these intangibles that Dylan Brooks brings to a team that just needs every bit of intangible necessary. Like, we were like a team with zero intangibles. Zero wherewithal. Like, we had, like, we didn't have any of that, like, on the table for us. So, like, to be able to have a player that can establish that. And then the balance of, like, because Dylan Brooks is one end of the spectrum of, like, things can go really wrong, right? Balance that out with a Fred VanVleet who has a good head on his shoulders, who's calm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who's a pro. He talks his shit, don't get me wrong. But, like, he's a freaking pro. So, like, couple that up with Ime Udoka. I know that we wanted Brook Lopez. I know at the end of the day that, Jesus, I don't even want to go into that trade. The trade was just, it's horrendous. All these second-round picks had to go. Players had to go as well. On the back end of thinking that Brook Lopez was in our pocket, there's a lot of problems and issues there. But, I mean, if you're looking at it from a macro standpoint, to be able to get a Dylan Brooks, a Fred VanVleet, an Ime Udoka, along with an Amen Thompson, a Cam Whitmore, successful freaking offseason. We're July 10th. Successful freaking offseason. So I'm happy with it, GM. These contracts are, good. They're good for what they are, and they were the best in the market that we could receive. It's whatever
Dylan Brooks
was available.
The top perimeter defender.
Right.
Fred VanVleet was the top point guard. They got the top prizes in terms of what this team was looking for in terms of play. And it's cool. Like, I'm happy to have a like you said, like a metaphorical dog like Dylan Brooks. They bring an attitude to this team, a mean streak to this team that might desperately need it. Someone that can be an enforcer if that's called upon. Hopefully, he can be that guy for this team. But with all that being said, it's like, he immediately improves the defense, especially on the perimeter,
tenfold
for us immediately. So
right out of the gate,
it's going to do a lot for this team, and I'm just very, very excited for it.
I can't wait, man. I'm excited to get into Toyota Center and watch these new look Rockets. I need to fast forward through Summer League. We need to get through Media Day, get through training camp, and then preseason, myself and the GM will be there. We got to see these new look Rockets in person with Ime Udoka behind the 8 ball working on the bench. GM, let's go ahead and end this episode right here. Episode 170 officially in the books, creeping closer to the great big bicentennial 200.
Yeah,
we're getting there. Summit is climbing at 170 now. So geez Louise, 170 episodes with you. I don't know.
I don't know how we do it.
Don't know how we do it.
Don't know how you do it.
Don't know how I do it. But I do want that episode properly. I was like, I couldn't even say it. I couldn't even say it properly. Speak English, Kenny.
Can't get it out.
I couldn't even speak it properly. Let's end the episode as we end every episode, G, and give the people what they want. Give the people what they want.
Well, make sure, first of all, to follow me on Twitter at JP_Mayor Also on Threads, if you guys are on that, follow me on there as well.
And there it is. There's the cheap plug.
And then follow us on Twitter at Summit, SOMPOD. Follow us on Instagram at Summit State of Mind _POD. Make sure to follow our people, our group, our family, our brothers at Apollo NBA and at Apollo HOU. But one more thing, if you're watching this, we do have a watch party on July the 13th over at Trash Panda Drinking Club. And the address is, let me bust out the ad.
713 day. I'm psyched, man.
It's at 4203 Edison Street, Houston, Texas, 77009. And like you said, yes, it is on 713 day. The Rockets will be playing the Warriors. It starts at 6 p.m. It's also steak night. Who doesn't love steak night?
I do love myself a good steak night. A steak will be
there
had.
You go. And then
I will
after
eat a steak that
the
night.
game, Loteria night, which is I guess a Mexican bingo.
Don't talk like you know it. Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I've never participated.
I never have
but
either,
I'm
but
more
I've heard
than
it's a fun
willing
time.
to attempt and enjoy myself while I am there. So make sure to come out and have fun with your boys from the Summit, from Apollo HOU. Let's have some fun. Let's watch maybe the final game of no, it's the fourth game. There's one more game after that.
One more game after that, yeah.
Watch your Rockets play against the Warriors. Maybe this time we'll beat them. In Summer League, I'll take any victory against the Warriors.
Any dub against the Warriors. Yeah, so we'd love to see each and every one of y'all out there for our watch party for the Summer League. We always throw one, so this will be the one that we throw, and we're just psyched to see the fan base come back together, enjoy some Rockets with your boys. So you can also follow me on Twitter as well, at Summit Commish. Shouts to our Apollo podcast brethren that continue to kill the game. Shouts to BTD, the crown jewel of all Astros podcasts. Be sure to give them your first listen in terms of all Astros content beyond the diamond. Shouts to the Apollo Texans. Be sure to give them your first listen for all Houston Texans content. Once again, that's Apollo Texans on Twitter. That's Off the Gridiron on YouTube. Be sure to check them out. Check out the One Take podcast. All your needs for all culture, pop culture, music, TV shows, movies. They got you covered there. And we are all under this beautiful umbrella called Apollo HOU on YouTube. You can catch each and every one of our stuff, our newest videos just like this one, on Apollo HOU. Super kick that subscribe button one time for you boys so you can be noted and notified when these newest episodes do release. The signings, the players, the antes, everything like that. I don't even know what antes meant.
I don't know either, but hey,
it sounded
man,
cool. All right, whatever.
You went with it.
We're gonna
we'll
roll
go with it. We'll
I
go
should
with
have said
it
it with my chest out. So yeah, so be sure to give a follow to Apollo HOU on YouTube so you can follow us. And we just appreciate each and every one of y'all. Episode 170. Thank you so much for making us your first listen in terms of all Rockets content.
Thank you.
Couldn't be done without y'all. So we appreciate each and every one of y'all for your full support. As our producer gives us a go home cue here, and I'm gonna end episode as I end every episode. Go Summit. Go Apollo. Rockets are 2-0 in the Summer League. Fuck it. Let's go undefeated. Go Rockets.